Hey guys, SeanB, and today we are taking a look at Situational RTA tier list. He made one of the best tier lists for summons on RTA because he combined his G3 experience together with data to make the most accurate tier list that represent the high ranking RTA. In the lower ranking, it might not be the same, but it's more or less quite accurate in my opinion. Also, if you don't see a unit on the high tier, doesn't mean your account sucks. It means it's not popular. If you have a certain unit, you like using a certain unit and you have success with them, I think that's the most important thing. Also, you might be wondering why this guy is doing over here, the Fire Lightning Emperor. It was supposed to be Ken or Shadow Claw. I think he couldn't find the image, so he's using this image for now. We'll talk about the stuff below as well, but let's take a look at the popular RTA unit. We are still seeing Gianna, Ragdoll, Nephthys, and Tian Lang at the higher rank, but we are seeing the addition of the Fire Art Master after the recent buff, giving this unit instant turn after sealing a unit. So now he's not just AoE buffer, he can also control unit, and it is one of the best control in the game. The unit cannot be cleansed, you can't somehow bring it back to the fight, and the passive of that unit is gone. So if you seal a Leo, then the Leo passive is gone, or you seal Vanessa, Triana, or Molly, the passive is gone. So overall, he become one of the best, if not the best, AoE stripper for the control playstyle. Or if you build him violent, he can seal multiple units in a very short amount of time. So that is very, very strong. From this, we can see that Comtos is actually capable of bringing a unit that used to belong nowhere near any of these rankings. It used to be like all the way down, or nobody even used this unit, except for maybe SeanB want to make some YouTube video, and he's now the best unit in the game for RTA. And he's also very good in the arena for bomb team, or in guild content for bomb team as well. He's just really, really good. What do we use still here, because it's very hard to counter this guy. I think he can be down a notch because there are more and more counters developed just for this guy. But for this guy in particular, not much counter yet. Going to the rank below, we still see Han with the best single target damage dealer in the game for RTA. Can one-shot a unit, stun another unit with a violent proc, and one-shot another unit again. We see Volantis going further up. I think he used to be a little bit down in the 70 ranking, but now he is one of the rare units that can revenge, gain a turn in between strip and provoke. He's like a Vert and Gianna combined. Yeah, he can cut in between and disturb the entire enemy team, and that is just insane. Kinky rise to the top, being the newest Miho. He can solo like 80% of the team out there. It's crazy. If you're trying to go first turn strip and you see this guy appear, you cringe. It's like, I'm done. So you build him on Despair, high resist, he revenge, defense break, self-healing, he can AoE Despair stun, and it is very hard to kill him. So pretty much one of the best unit in the game for last picking to solo people, like how Miho used to be. But now with the addition of Onimusha and the crit rate fakes, Miho is nowhere to be seen anymore, and this guy becomes one of the best LD to last pick. Light Monkey King, best last pick for control. Pontos, best immunity unit. I don't really see Savannah being this high. I think she's maybe here because there's a lot of counter for her up until now. There's Vert, Leo, Molly, Fire Element being very strong as well with Oki, Carno, Juno. She's just not as good as before. I still think she's really, really good, but not in this category, I believe. Going down to 85, we see many familiar faces like Ciara, Oki, Gani, and Molong being one of the core in the Bruiser team. The new faces will be Heigang. So he's right now one of the best, if not the only counter to Jogun, because Jogun strip, but he doesn't influence attack bar. So when you strip a full team on Will Runes with Heigang in it, the entire enemy team can cut in between, and Heigang can fully strip whatever Jogun just buff. To like an average player, you probably think Heigang is pretty trash because the strip is quite average. But when you pick him right at the 4th or 5th slot, then you see him counter the two best stripper in the best, SSS tier right here. That's why he's so high up. Nasha moving up used to be one of the shitty base riders, but now she can strip, defense break, and do some massive damage at the same time. So she's up here. It's a single target damage dealer. This one can strip defense break and do damage, which is really, really good. It's like remind me of like much better Daphnis. Yeah. We are seeing the Dark Onimusha here as well because this guy can do some insane damage. This guy is just kinky pre-nerf, kind of. Not as tanky, but he do some insane damage and he counter Okeanos really, really well. Can't be stunned. If you stun him, he wake up and kill your entire team. So he's just really, really good. Lulu is here as one of the main immunity unit to pick in the meta because Lulu can counter the fire CC unit, and one violent proc from Lulu, she can cleanse a unit and keep it safe with immunity like a vert, so that you can ensure the vert with a turn. And also one violent proc from Lulu, all the CC will be gone. Unlike Fran, she can violent proc out, but she cannot cleanse the team. So even though if she's providing immunity, the entire team might still be stunned, and Lulu is a little bit better in that way. Asima, one of the best turn 2 unit, Tableau, speed lead, giving an extra turn for the entire CC squad is still very strong. Going down here, we see the counter pick, a lot of counter pick actually, to the first turn, double speed lead strip control meta you see over here. We see the counter pick right here. Juno, one of the best counter pick in the game with additional damage artifact, do crazy damage, turn cycling, and can't be stunned. Nyx, how do I say this? Nyx is best of both worlds. He can strip if you build him on Swift and control. He can fit into like the first turn strip and control playstyle, or if you want to play him second turn, he can also fit in with a despair build potentially, and his passive plus leader skill is one of the biggest pain in the ass for the turn 1 strip team. Jäger is here. You might need Ragdoll to make him really shine, but he can't be stunned, so it's already pretty good. Rika, best turn 2 pick, and Gunsa, high base speed strip, which is good, but because he's strip and doesn't really do much, so he's not comparable to the strip and do some other stuff like these unit over here. Diana, best counter. Yeonhong actually falling down a little bit and not being up here. Not too sure about this though, but Swift Yeonhong is very popular nowadays. Maybe just because she has a single target strip, not comparable to like AoE strip for example. Yeonhong is still like a jack of all trades, strip, damage, healing, attack by boost. I think most units from 75 to 80 and above, they're really, really good. Not because if you have these units, you'll be like shit, and you have this unit and you're like good. I think they're all really, really good if you play well. Molly, insane. Yeah, absolutely insane unit. Still very RNG for CC player to go into Molly, especially with Okeanos nerf. Oh, I forgot to talk about Carno, the Fire Bison, who gained popularity because Okeanos is not as reliable as before, and this guy can also stun, put slow debuff, and can actually solo Juno with a skill 2 that pushed down attack bar and heal back himself. He's actually really good right now. And if people take your Okeanos, your Fire CC option, you have Carno to be the Fire CC option, and his skill 1 is pretty insane as well. I think Vanessa is not that high anymore, but she's still a 33% speed lead, which is great if you want to outspeed Jogun and Water Ryu. So she's still high up as an option together with Samaf. Artemio actually go down. Artemio used to be like all the way up here, but with more and more units that can defense break and control, he's going further down and down and down. Free to play second turn option right here. One of the most popular one actually is the Water Joker because his bomb can do great damage, ignore defense, and stun. So if you don't have Rika, you don't have Carno or Sima, your best last pick for turn 2 against enemy unit that doesn't have immunity. Like they pick a full team of CC, you can pick him with Wilrun, and he can be a very, very annoying threat when they miss the strip on this unit. Dark Demon is insane. The Light Polar Queen is also quite good. Nowadays she's built on Despair because the skill 2 can cycle turn very quickly. She can reset cooldown, high base speed. She's just amazing. I get shit on by this unit so many times. The resistant lead can be a nightmare for people with below 50 accuracy as well. Going further down, we see Beast Rider down here actually, unfortunately, with the presence of Leo, Diana, Molly, Barbara become less and less of a crazy pick. And also Marsha, sad, Savannah actually maintained the supremacy over these two Beast Rider thanks to AoE control and great damage, but these two single target one into the super tanky team, and especially with Kinky being around, it's really, really hard. We see Praha here as a utility strip heal control, just It's like a Yanhong, but not as good. I think Pra is still really good into a turn 2 team with resistant lead. We see Nikki here with cleave playstyle. We see some cleave option here like Kaki, Bastet. We see Vert down here. I think Vert should go up a little bit, but because Vert is RNG, so it's not really that consistent. But for most people, Vert is the only option to fight against a lot of these things. So if this is like a free-to-play tier list or budget tier list, I think Vert should be like all the way up because he's the only option. Asher for stealing turn, not that good, but not that bad. So you steal turn, but you have to do something very high impact with your turn if you manage to steal it. Or he's a force ban because of his high base speed against people who run the typical, speed lead, art master. The base speed is not too high, so Asher is there to threaten, going first, and then, counter CC them. Akroma, very strong unit against CC com, but not really that amazing. Her utility is not really that high. Her RNG AoE protection is not consistent, but she still can solo people. I think the Dark Sylphid Icarus should be nearer to Molong, but I think because her utility is a little bit less, but I think she's really good because for CC people, they run, let's say, Gani Oki, Ciara, and enemy runs Molly, Immunity, Dragon Knight kind of stuff, then the Molong Icarus pick is really dangerous. Jemaya as a speed lead potentially can be built as a counter to cleanse the stun from Gianna, or a very good counter to Gani Oki reset skill because you cannot reset Jemaya. This is the Ken or Shadow Claw AoE strippers, but the Fire Ken to many people is the best or the only AoE strip option that they have. We see the Wind Sniper here being very good if you have Molly, but very good against the Water Ryu because whenever he strip AoE, this guy can gain a turn instantly to buff into his second skill, and if he gain a turn again with attack buff, he can potentially one-shot even a Ganymede or Ciara or Water Ryu very easily with attack buff. So people usually build on a Vampire with good damage and maybe high resistance, and he's there to destroy Water Ryu people pretty much. Amdawat speed lead, attack buff buffer, still very good because of decent base speed, very much like War Young, but his protective buff and his unconditional attack buff boost I think is much better. That's why he's still high up here as a turn 1 contest unit. So overall, you can see for the popular choices in RTA, there are 2 dominant playstyle with double speed lead, double strip with Art Master, or triple strip as well if you have like Gianna or Volantis or Ken or some other stuff, and then control with Gani, Oki, or Carno. Or you see the Ragdoll, the Molong, the Tianlang for turn 2 with Pontos, and Diana picked up Molly and Juno and Praha. Those are like the bruiser counter pick playstyle, but those are the dominant pick right there. Oh, Leo for turn 2 as well. So if you're like one of those poor people and doesn't really know what to do against the turn 1 player with double strip and CC, and you don't really have anything here, your best bet is Lulu, Vert, and Wind Sniper. One thing I would add in this tier list, I don't really see the unit exist in the tier list, maybe because the higher you go, the harder to use him, is the Water Lich. He's pretty good against the Water Ryu Okeanos focus player, which exists a lot in the Conqueror and below rank. And the Water Lich on a Vampire Revenge build can be a very good option because you cannot stun him, and all these multi-hit from all these units, they will give the Water Lich a lot of attack bar to cut in between and kill them with defense break and decent damage. So if you don't really know what to do, your only option is pretty much like Fran, Vert, Lulu, Blue Joker, Wind Sniper, and whatever Nat 5 you have, let's say Ciara or Diana or Molly if you're lucky, and Praha, Juno. Those are the Nat 5 options you can mix in for your turn 2 team to fight, the brutal first turn meta right here. Now let's take a look at the not often used unit, or unit that just fallen off the meta. They used to be good, but now they're not good anymore. So some of these are turn 2 units like Belenus, Light Dragon. We see another stripper here. Sadly, due to his low base speed, he is not as good. There are some units you might see on RTA replay that dominate G3 like Dark Cannon Girl or the Dark, what do you call this thing, Mage? Maybe they're not as meta, but they're definitely very strong. I think Wind Panda can be placed up a little bit, probably the same spot as the Wind Sniper, being a wind unit that's strong against Water Ryu and potentially gain attack bar. Stuff that can gain attack bar very good into like the dominating turn 1 strip comp. We are seeing more counter pick here that used to be really good, like Fire Monkey King, Miho, Tetra, Leona, Tyrannus, because their cooldown can, some of these units, the new style stripper destroy them, or their cooldown can be reset too easily. Like I think Lima on triple revenge build can be quite interesting against turn 1 stripper, or Velaju on Nemesis build can be the one that cut in between Water Ryu and stuff. Can be interesting. I think the Siren is one of the very important unit to build for people who don't have stuff, because of how often you see Molly, Diana, Juno. Down here you see more units that used to be very popular like Wind Monkey, Josephine, Daphnis, you know, even Harmonia with Molong, but nowadays people just run Lulu so that they can't be stunned by Okeanos. I'm glad to see he value War Young less, so we might see a buff soon, I don't know. And some forgotten unit down here that they're just better option up there. Sadly, Vermos is down here compared to Juno, because when you stun him, he doesn't gain that attack bar. Sad Chow down here. You see Pink Roy use Chow sometime, but not enough to convince Shishizo to put Chow anywhere on the up top. We see some sad unit here that nobody use, or nobody have, or nobody really care enough to use, that should get buffed maybe. I agree pretty much with the stuff down here. Sad to see. I think Laika can be up there as well, because of how often you see Leo, Vert, and Ragdoll, and Laika kind of just destroy them all. Haha, I like that a lot. So no matter what rank you are, you still see people rocking, you know, the strip, and then you see people counter with the Vert, the Leo, the Molly. The pick and ban just circle around these units right here the most. Doesn't mean if you don't have them, you can't play the game, but it's just, these are just a bit more popular. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That was my review of the Seichizo tier list. I can't talk about every single unit because that would take too long. You can check out his video, I'll leave the link down below. Please go subscribe to Seichizo. He makes very good endgame content for either PvE or PvP. And thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!